I'm going pretty slow, so this is almost relatively safe. These are pretty much whiteout conditions, I would say. Normally you could see the city, Minneapolis, from here, but I don't think you can see that very well today because the conditions of this snowstorm are pretty intense. Oh, this guy wants to merge in here. It's so tough. Like, that lane is so busy, and there's no space in this lane. Look at this. And so I've been here on 394 for about, I don't know, 45 minutes or so, I think. Yeah. I think I left the office at 5:15, and it's 6:40 as of this recording. So that's fun. I was intending to go down to Uptown to have dinner with some friends, but pretty much everybody who had to drive into Uptown canceled because it was pretty slippery. It just so happens that here on this part of the road, on 394 here, that because we're all going so slow, our cars are warming up the surface, removing the ice sheet that had built up during the rain before the snow started. But everywhere else on, side streets and on parts of 394 and other freeways here that aren't going as slow. So if it's moving fast, it's actually bumpy and slippery and fairly dangerous. What we're doing right here, because we're going so slow and because our cars have melted the ice sheet, it's actually pretty almost safe. Although I did see this Jeep earlier slide laterally to the left when we were on the hill, the slope behind us. So that's cool. But again, yeah, you could normally see the church from here. You could normally see the city skyline from here. If I turn to the left over there, you might even be able to see the Twins Stadium, the baseball stadium, a little bit. You can't see that right now.
Right onto the I-94 East.
Yeah, thanks, Google. Google says I should slide right, and hopefully it doesn't mean literally slide right. It's so bad. Yeah, you can even see sort of this virtual median that's formed because nobody's driving over there right now. That's not a lane, but normally, there's actually just flat road there. Wow, it is really snowy. It is such a strong, persistent, large flake snow too. Yeah, you can kind of see it here in my headlights a little bit. Yeah. Once I get past this is a transition from 394 to the Lowry Tunnel and then to 94. And once I get through this, the Google Maps timer says about another 25 minutes. We'll see about that. I'm expecting another 40 minutes because it's just been so slow going. So we'll see. Google Maps also says that the speed that we're going at right now is actually really good. It's blue and instead of yellow or red, so that's fun. Yeah. I'm just trying to keep my distance from everybody, trying to make sure if I do start sliding, I'm not sliding into anyone. Just trying to keep it.
I-94 East for 5 miles.
Yeah, I'll keep it. I'll keep going this way for 5 more miles. And it's going to take forever. Oh yeah, okay, look at that. So you can actually see the outline of the church a little bit. I got close enough to actually start to see it. That's so weird. I can't risk zooming right now. It's a little tough, but you can see the little church light beacon up on top. That's so cool. I don't know if you can normally see that because during the daytime it's too bright, and at night you are going way too fast right here. Wow. You can just barely now start to see the outline of the church. That's so wild. That's the basilica. Wait, no, that's the cathedral. I don't know. I get them confused.
Crash on I-94 East in a quarter mile.
There's a crash in a quarter mile. Not surprised. Yeah, these overpasses and I don't know, spurs. I don't know what you call it, but this overpass, they can get slippery when it's cold like this, when it's snowing, because the ground isn't keeping it warm, and so you can tend to slide or not be able to stop on these. So you gotta be real careful. Oh boy, I'm gonna record until we get out of the tunnel on the other side because I just think it's fun. Maybe I'll put this on YouTube. It's wild. It's truly wild. Yeah, so I'll just pan over here to the left for one sec. So you can see the basilica, is that right? Yeah.
At the stop sign, turn right onto West Lyndale Avenue North.
Google thinks there's a stop sign, but I'm literally on the freeway. That's how slow I'm going. So it thinks I'm on the road to the right here, but I'm not. I'm on the freeway. It doesn't know that I'm on the freeway because I'm going so slowly. Normally on this side of the road, you could see the Spoon and the Cherry and what is that called? The Walker Art Yard. The Art Walker Museum is of course over there, and then the art yard is out there. Can't see any of that right now. You can see something red over there in the distance, but I don't know what that is. And then we're gonna start coming up here on the tunnel. If I had a car mount, I'd record the whole time. I'd even live stream, but I don't have that. I could probably rig it up, but it's a little bit of a terrible time to rig stuff up in your car, you know? The speed that we're going at it here is actually pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what that red thing is over there. It's probably something. You can see here on my windshield that there's snow buildup on these edges, and so like that can happen when it starts snowing really heavily and your car can't sweep it out of the way fast enough, and you don't have your defroster on high enough, and that can get pretty tough. Look at all the red out here. There's just so many people just going as slow as they can to make sure they don't slide out of control. I haven't seen too many crashes or anything. There were a couple of ambulances going by, but I don't know if they were going into downtown or somewhere else. Yeah, you can see the walker over there. This bridge connects over to the yard. I wonder if the guy behind me can tell that I'm using my phone. I don't know. Like I said, going this slow in these conditions, with how careful we're all paying attention, it's probably not the least safe thing I could do. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably a 3 right now. Don't do this at home when it's not snowing though. Do this in the car when it is snowing. Yeah, I was listening to the radio earlier, and they were saying something about like how average speeds right now are 10 miles per hour. Maybe that's even generous, because I'm below 5 miles per hour right now going through the tunnel here. So this tunnel is pretty cool if you've never been through the tunnel before. This tunnel does basically a 90-degree turn inside here, and so like if you go through here, if you're listening to the radio, it's gonna start getting loud because I do have my windows open, but that's actually fun too. So it's a tunnel and it's all lined with tile, and so it gets really loud in here. So, but anyway, I'll just talk louder. If you're listening to the radio as you come through here, your radio will cut out for about 10 seconds or so at normal speeds. Because the radio waves can't bend around the 90-degree curve that's actually going on here under this tunnel. So that's a pretty wild experience. Pretty cool too. It comes back obviously once you get through it, but it's just weird for those 10 seconds where your radio cuts out. The signal can't get through the bend.
Use the left lane to take a slight left to stay on Lyndale Avenue South.
Yeah, I'm not on Lyndale, Google, but thank you. Google just has no idea where I am. The Google Maps here is marking the tunnel as good speed. It's blue instead of red. Yeah. I don't know where my Jeep friend went. I kind of lost track of him. I don't know. I'm sure it's here on the recording, but I lost track of him. Probably on that multi-lane turn there. It's okay. No problem. It's always eerie when some of the lights down here don't work.
Take a slight left to stay on Greendale Avenue South.
So above us
left under the I-94 East ramp to I-35W.
are streets that connect the gap that's caused by the freeway. So there are real streets up there. I always think that's interesting. Like, it's a tunnel for a reason. There's something up there. But the fact that this is almost functionally a 90-degree curve is very, very bad for traffic flow. Cars were not meant to do 90-degree turns at any reasonable speed. So coming through the tunnel in the morning, you're typically going about 40 miles per hour, which is actually pretty fast, all things considered. But obviously we're going about 4 miles per hour, so 10 times slower right now. That's because there's a lot of snow and stuff on the outside, but even in the nighttime, coming home on a normal day, I don't know, maybe you'd be going about 30-ish. So on the other side of the tunnel here, we get a few different down ramps from Hennepin and Lyndale. So those are some arterial streets that span between downtown Minneapolis and uptown, which is also Minneapolis, but it's the skyscraper part of it. And then we also have a turnoff ramp to 35. So you can go on to 35 West North or 35 West South. And I want you to think about that for a minute. Because when I say it, it makes sense to me, but when you hear it, it's just weird. Okay, so here we're coming out of the tunnel now. And you can see stuff, but it's tough to see out there. Wow, look at that. You can see the down ramp over there in the distance. A lot of people coming down, and obviously that makes our lane slow. This area is notorious because there are so many lanes coming out. Yeah, there's so many lanes coming down from the city, and there's so many lanes going on to 35 north and south, 35W north and south, that people tend to jump lanes a lot, and that is really tough in these conditions. It is very slippery. I can't tell how bad the road is because I'm going so slow. But if we go slow enough, our car's heated up, so it does tend to be okay. It doesn't look as slushy, so it means it might actually be a little risky. So you could probably hear in the audio that as soon as we got out of the tunnel, it got a lot quieter. It is just real loud in there. It just echoes. And so I don't recommend hanging out in there if you don't have to. This guy wants to come into our lane, so you can see that guy trying to come into our lane. Presumably he wants to come into the lane because he wants to get onto 35 South. But it's very early for that, and so it's just going to be more chaos. It kind of makes you wonder if that's a local driver or somebody who knows or not. That 35 South lane had been closed for maybe most of the summer, or maybe that was last year, but it had been closed for a while, so I don't know if people are used to it. Oh, look, here's somebody who had to bail out for some reason. Don't know why. Just a car that's flashing. That's not good. Oh, he's trying to get out. Wow. That's not good. Yeah. Okay. Not good at all. And look, like the lane totally does not curve like that, but we're curving it because we can't see the lane markers. So we're getting awfully close to these guys coming down the down ramp. Whew. Wow, it's tough, everybody. It's really tough out here. Well, I'm going to pause this. Maybe I'll do a stitch later. But yeah, like normally you could see way more stuff out there in the distance, but it's just barely visible because of how much snow we're getting. It's whiteout conditions. Well, anyway, if you watch the video to the very end, please like and subscribe to It's Snowing Right Now. Bye, everybody. Watch out for cars and watch out for snow.